Hey there everybody, it's Debbie, and today I'm going to be doing kind of a hack slash tip video when it comes to collaging. These are just kind of some ideas I came up with and some things I kind of learned as I've gone along. The first thing I'm going to do is a hack that I came up with. It involves using a watercolor marker. I have a Tombow, and this is an Artist Loft, and this is the Tombow. They're the regular watercolor markers, brush tip on one side, bullet nib on the other side. And what I do with this, and I found this helpful, is these are just scrap pieces of paper, just to show you what I mean. When cutting out black stuff with your hobby knife, sometimes you'll leave, this is black or any other dark, you'll leave like a white line across the edge, or if you accidentally nick the paper, you'll leave this white area. And if you glue it onto something else, you could totally see that white. Sorry, the reflection from the light is kind of getting on it, but you could see that white up against the dark piece of paper, and that doesn't work good. So what I do in this case, we'll put this over here, is I take my watercolor marker, and with here, like if it's like this, I go over the sides like that, cover it up that way, and it completely takes that away. I mean, you're collaging, so it's not like people are going to look really up close and see or anything, but it really doesn't make a mark. It's really not easy to see, and it makes it blend in. Now, in this case, this is a lot worse. This, like I said, this is something I did this on purpose, but it's like a, you know, you see like a ripped mark. You can go like that and cover the whole thing up. Now these are water soluble, as you know. And then once you do that, it's on there. You dampen your finger, and very little. You don't dampen it a lot, just, I mean very little. Kind of just push, make sure if there's any marker showing here, it just pushes it off. And completely gone. You can't see it at all. It's blent in. Perfect. So that's my little hack when it comes to the watercolor markers. Another hack I have, and this looks ridiculous. I'm going to move this out of the way. This looks ridiculous. I made it myself. I call it my glue board. I made this to make it look pretty. All this is just like a regular old frame that broke a long time ago. And you open it up, and on the inside it has these Sizzix double stick graph paper things. What they're for is for die cutting. If you're cutting a word out of paper, what you usually do is you want to line up the letters perfect, and this is a way to line them up and make sure that they stay in place, because there's a little tiny bit of stick to it. So you can line your letters up to make it perfect, and so the lettering is perfect on the die, like on the piece of paper when you cut it out. So I don't really, obviously I don't use it for that purpose. What I do is I decided one day I was trying to do a small, like glue a small thing, and usually, like here I brought something out. Usually when it's like this small, it's really hard to glue. You have to put it down and hold it. Sometimes a silicone mat works, but not really. So what I do is I would put it here, and it keeps it from going anywhere. And then I would take my glue and just go over it as much as I need to. And then when it's time, ooh, dropped my tweezers. And this part you kind of have to be careful. I tend to work with old paper from like old magazines from the 60s, and the paper there is really soft. But this is from National Geographic's. I use National Geographics a lot, and this is like a thing from the 50s or something, so the paper's pretty good here, but still you kind of want to be careful when you go around. Ooh, especially these, now I can't get it. These tweezers are really, really sharp at the end. So then what you want to do is you want to come here and you just put it where you want, glue it down, and there you go. It's on perfect. Now these things last for a while. They make bigger sheets too, and that bigger sheet, next time I'm gonna get those. These are the original sheets. I bought these and I figured this out one day, so that's why I'm using the small ones. But they do make bigger ones, which I'll do next. They stay sticky for a while. And what I do is I take a little bit of Scotch tape, put it at the top because this part isn't sticky, to keep it down. When I'm done, plus, like I said, this is a busted frame. Here, let me show you the back. It's all busted. So you have, under here, you have area that you're not seeing where you could stick it down. Sometimes you need to put tape up here just a little bit. Now when this gets dirty and it doesn't get, it's not sticky anymore, it's not holding them, you could flip these over and there's still stick on the other side. They last a long time though. I've been using this for a while. This thing's look ridiculous, I know, but I decided I did this like the other day. I used to have a piece of paper covering this so that no particles or anything could get on it, take the stick away, and it was just annoying me. So one day I was bored, so I decided to make this. I put a little thing of putty underneath and it protects it from getting less sticky, but it lasts for a long time. I know it's really weird and janky looking, but it really has helped me when it comes to gluing down small things. The next thing I'm going to talk about is more of a tip. I used to use regular brushes when I was gessoing stuff down. I'd be prepping my canvas and I would use regular brushes, and over time they would get like that. And this is my Jane Davenport brush. This was when I first started out, like doing collages and gessoing and stuff. And this was the biggest brush I had, so I would use it. And it's pretty much ruined it. So a tip would be buy brushes that you use specifically for gesso and matte medium. These are some cheaper ones I got off of Amazon. I cannot remember the name of them. Does it say it? Plaid, I guess. But I got this 3-pack, and these are what I use when I'm doing gessoing or matte medium or anything like that. And they're cheap, so if they get like ruined or something, it's not a big deal. It's a way to keep your good brushes in good condition. And yeah, so I would suggest you get brushes specifically for that reason, so you don't mess up your regular brushes that you use for painting. My next tip, it's kind of a tip. Like I said, this is just for right now. A brayer. I use brayers for my jelly, what is it called? My jelly plate or gel plate, and they're, for paint and everything. But this brayer I use the most. Actually, this is a new one because my other one broke. I just got this the other day. But this is what I do after I glue something down. Let me just get a quick glue thing here. I don't really use this glue. I use the Ohuhu, but this is the closest one to me. So I'll glue it down as well as I can. And then when I go to stick it down on the paper, I'll stick it down as well as I can, and that's when I bring in my brayer just to make sure that it gets, like, presses down perfectly and makes it flat, no air bubbles coming, and it keeps it down really good, keeps it flat. Like I said, just like the gesso brushes, I only use one for glue and the other for paint. And yeah, that's it. Another hack I have is, well, it's not really a hack, it's a tip. I used to organize my collage clippings in a big drawer like this. No, I loved it at the time. It kept them all good. It's this came in like a cart. It's a rolly cart and it had like 10 drawers in it, and I branded them all. I can't really bring the cart over here, so I just brought a drawer. And at first, this was like perfect for me. I was so into it. I loved it. But then over time, I noticed what a hassle it is. I mean, it looks like a good idea in theory, but when it comes down to finding images, it's kind of a hassle because you literally have to sit here, pick each one out, go through, and I mean, sometimes it's taken me over 30 minutes just to get through the whole thing. So I would sit here and go and try to find the right images. And like I said, at first it worked. It kept them together. It kept them easy. But then over time, I came across ideas where instead, sorry, I'm out down here. Instead of using, excuse me again, instead of using these drawers, I decided to start using photo albums and composition books. I'll show you the composition book first. Now the composition book, this is just, it is a composition book. I just taped this for fun on the front. I put small images in here. It makes it a lot easier. When I put the images in here, I use Scotch tape, but I only use a very, very small piece. I cut this part off, and let me just show you. Another thing is, if you use scissors, if you cut tape or anything sticky, get a pair of scissors for that, just like the gesso brushes. Get a pair of scissors, use that for the sticky stuff, and then use your other one for cutting paper and stuff like that, because over time these get all junked up and you don't want to get that on your paper. Anyways, what I do is I cut like little tiny strips this big, that big. And then I'll cut these in half. I almost cut my finger. And then this is what I use to cut the corners. And I barely put it on the corner. Just enough to stick it down. So what I did with this one, there's a little tip for you right there. What I did with this one is I just put like bigger, square scenes and stuff like that. Sometimes I decide which ones to put in here. But yeah, so I have it like filled up to here. But it works really well. It's a lot easier to flip through and makes my life easier. Second thing I decided to use are not just regular photo books. They're called magnetic photo books. Or photo things. This one, I love this one, but it came with this. This isn't removable. Anyways, these are the magnetic pages that are sticky. You have the little thing here. And what it does is it completely holds the sticky things in there, or it sticks them in there so they don't fall down. A lot of people use those pocket, those little page protectors, you put them on the binder and then you open the pocket and put them down. What I don't like about that is when you're putting in small stuff, it all slides to the bottom. So this is a way to do it while keeping it all there so you could see it. I mean, this is a lot easier than going through the drawers. A lot of the stuff I put in here, all the stuff I put in here actually, is stuff that I've already detail cut out. I don't just put like pages in here, as you can see. This yellow one is for interactive images, things that go along with the people. So like I'll put a person and then I'll put something like this next to it, just in images that interact with the people. And then I have this white one that I use. This is specifically, I'm almost hitting the camera. This is specifically people. So all this is just people in here. And it keeps it a lot easier to look at, a lot of, it really helps. Rather than going through the drawer for an hour, all I have to do is just flip the pages, find which ones I like, see, and then all you got to do is lift that up, They pop right out, usually. And there you go. Pop right out, take them out. If you don't like them, put them back. One thing I don't do with this, though, I don't like to overlap images. I'm going to tell you that, and of course I'm going to get to the pages that are overlapped. I try to take it so that none cover each other so you could see the full image. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff from like the 50s and stuff, as you'll notice. But that's what I do with that, and that's a little tip for you. Now, here's another tip that I just came up with this one day. I don't know. It's a little notebook. It's a little kind of mixed media notebook. It's not like a high quality one, but it is. I say on the front, clean on me, test on me, prep on me, play on me, and palette on me. So what I do is, like, if I have to clean up a brush or something, I do it on here. If I have to prep a marker, like a paint marker, you know, I have to press on it to get the paint to come out, I do it on here. Sometimes I use this as actually a palette. You know, I'll put paint here, and do that. And what that does, and also, I tested glue on here too. I got some new glue, so I tested it on here to see, like here with this small die, to see how well the glue worked. And in the end, you end up with these really cool backgrounds you can use for stuff. I'll just sit here and try it. Like this was when I tried doing, what's it called? Molding clay? Molding clay? I think it's like that stuff it gives texture to your paper. So I was just trying it here. Here I was cleaning my brushes off. So like if I was, I mean, you put it in water, yes, but then you'll go to a piece of paper and you move your brush up and down to make sure the paint is off. So I decided, why don't I do a notebook with just for that, for cleaning brushes off. It'll give me a cute little background, you know. So I'll just pick a page and try things out. And through this whole thing, you'll see I've tested glue. That's when I tested my Posca pens, more glue. I think I was cleaning off brushes here, testing glue. So all these I made, you know, while just cleaning. This is when I was testing out my jelly print thing. Same thing here, my Jane Davenport jelly plate. This one day I was testing out these new markers I got. Just there, I was testing out colored gesso. No, not testing it out. I made colored gesso, and when I was done using it, I put the rest on this page. I had some left. It was just regular white gesso. I added paint to it, and I had some left in the bowl, so I just took it here and added it to here. So yeah, everything. I have a lot of pages left, but it's really fun because, I mean, by doing this, you get a cute background for a collage or a picture or whatever you want to do. Another little tip I would say is I have these little water bottles, and let me move this out of the way. Sorry. I have these little water bottles here. They have the little cap on the top. And what I do is I keep these filled with water so that if my water brushes run out of water, I could put it right in. Sometimes I keep it for my misters if my misters run out. And it really helps. You could fill the thing a lot. In my old studio used to be upstairs at my house, and there was no bathroom upstairs, so I'd have to come all the way downstairs to clean brushes, or if I ran out of water, I'd have to come downstairs to fill up the cup or whatever. Here I moved, and my new studio, luckily, is right next to a bathroom. But it gets annoying, you know, you are painting with your water brushes. It gets annoying, so this is like a lot easier to just fill up real quick your water brushes and make it easy, so I don't have to jump up, go grab my water brush, fill it up, you know. It's a lot easier for me anyway. And I think that's it. Those are all my little tips and hacks that I came up with. I hope they help you out in the long run. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'll be making some more. Maybe you can give me a couple suggestions, little ideas. But thank you so much for watching my video. And remember, there's no such thing as bad art. A mistake to you is a masterpiece to somebody else. Thanks.